Hare Krishna, everyone. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we'll sing Jaya Radha Madhava first, and then we will discuss about Krishna for about 30 minutes, the appearance of Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Govinda Jaya Jaya, Gopala Jaya Jaya, Govinda Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya. Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya. Govinda Jaya Jaya Gopala Jaya Jaya. Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya. Radha Ramana Hari Govinda Jaya Jaya. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, so this evening we'll read from Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is, translation and commentary by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and we'll read from Chapter 4, Transcendental Knowledge, Text 8. Pritranayu sadhunam vinashaya chaduskritam dharma samstapanartaya sambhavami yuge yuge. To deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to reestablish the principles of religion, I myself appear millennium after millennium. Purport. According to Bhagavad Gita, a sadhu, holy man, is a man in Krishna consciousness. A person may appear to be irreligious, but if he has the qualifications of Krishna consciousness wholly and fully, he is to be understood to be a sadhu. And duskritam applies to those who do not care for Krishna consciousness. Such miscreants or duskritam are described as foolish and the lowest of mankind, even though they may be decorated with mundane education. Whereas a person who is 100% engaged in Krishna consciousness is accepted as a sadhu, even though such a person may be neither learned nor well cultured. As far as the atheistic are concerned, it is not necessary for the Supreme Lord to appear as He is to destroy them, as He did with the demons Ravana and Kaṁsa. So who killed Ravana? What was that? Yeah, Ram killed Ravana. And who killed Kaṁsa? Yes. The Lord has many agents who are quite competent to vanquish demons, but the Lord especially descends to appease His unalloyed devotees, who are always harassed by the demoniac. The demon harasses the devotee, even though the latter may happen to be his kin. Although Prahlāda Mahārāja was the son of Hiraṇyakaśipu, he was nonetheless persecuted by his father. Although Devakī, the mother of Krishna, was the sister of Kaṁsa, she and her husband Vasudeva were persecuted, only because Krishna was to be born of them. So Lord Kṛṣṇa appeared primarily to deliver Devakī rather than kill Kaṁsa, but both were performed simultaneously. Therefore it is said here that to deliver the devotee and vanquish the demon miscreants, the Lord appears in different incarnations. Om Jnana-timirandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshulana-militam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torchlight of knowledge. I offer my humble obeisances unto him. So the Vedic literature, specifically one book, Brahma Samhita, it describes Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in a particular way. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarvakarna Karanam. So it says that Krishna, Ishvara Parama Krishna, he's the supreme controller, Satchidananda Vigraha, and he has a form that is full of it is eternal, full of knowledge, and full of bliss. Unlike the material forms of this world, which are the opposite. They're not eternal, they're not full of knowledge, and they're not full of bliss. So Krishna has a form which is eternal, full of knowledge, and full of bliss. And he's the cause of all causes. And as the Srimad Bhagavatam says, Bhagavat Purana, Vadanti tat tatvavidas tatvam yaj abhyam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti shabite. It says that the absolute truth has three features. Not one, not two, three. Three features. So one is the Brahman effulgence, or the impersonal effulgence coming from Krishna's body. Brahman, Paramatma, Krishna in everyone's heart. And Bhagavan, this means the possessor of all opulences. So there's three aspects. In other words, there's a personal aspect. So when Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Sarva Dharmam Prityaja Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja, surrender unto me, Krishna says, I will protect you from all sinful reactions, all bad karmic sinful reactions. When he says that, he's referring to him as a person, because Krishna's a person. We're celebrating his appearance day today. Around 5,000 years ago, he appeared, in Mathura. So he's not referring to the unborn eternal within Krishna, because that doesn't exist. He's referring to Krishna, to himself, as a person. And this particular surrender, although it might sound very scary to people, right? What happens if I surrender to Krishna? What do you think happens? One of the things, one of the names of Krishna, his name is Hari. And you know what Hari means? What is it? Takes away. He takes everything away. So that could be scary, right? But means he takes away that which is not really worth being attached to in the first place. And our acharyas also explained that it's not literally that in all cases Krishna takes everything away. There's a principle outlined by one of our teachers, Rupa Goswami. Yukta Vairagya. Yukta Vairagya means we have stuff, but we use it in Krishna's service. For example, we have a house, but we see it as Krishna's house. We have a deity of Krishna. He's the proprietor of the house. There's family members in the house. We see them as connected to Krishna. We have money. We engage that in Krishna-conscious ways, such as building temples, distributing Bhagavad Gitas throughout the world, and so on. So, Yukta Vairagya. But Hari, his name's Hari, means who takes away. It means he takes away our suffering. If we engage things, if we become his devotee, he takes away our suffering. Mental and so on. And this particular surrender that Krishna is demanding in the Bhagavad Gita, Sarvadhamam Prityaja Mamekam Sharanam Vraja, it is supposed to be out of love. Just as devotees surrender to Krishna out of love, Krishna actually surrenders to his devotees out of love. It's a reciprocation going on. Like it's mentioning here, there's no need for Krishna to come to kill Kaṁsa and for Ram to kill Ravana and so on. There could have been so many agents who could easily take care of this. Demons. But really, Krishna appears to protect his devotees. That's the main reason. Just like those of you who are from India, which I suspect a number of you are, you may be familiar with Akbar and his particular minister, Birbal. There's so many little stories with them too. But anyways, one point, Birbal, he wanted to, this point came up. Why does Krishna come to this world? So Birbal, being a very intelligent minister, he said, I'll teach you very soon. I'll enlighten you in this matter very soon. So some time passed, and at one particular point, somehow or other, one of the servants of the home was bathing one of Akbar's small children, baby. That's a traditional way you know. So this servant dropped the baby in the water, Akbar's baby in the water, and Akbar saw this from a distance, and he immediately rushed there. He ran there, and he saved the baby. And then at that particular point, Birbal, he told Akbar, he said, "Oh, Akbar, you have so many servants and so many ministers, and why didn't you just tell one of them to go save your boy?" And then Akbar understood it as out of love, that forced him to save his child. Similarly, Krishna comes in that way, out of love and affection for his devotees. So if we surrender to Krishna, we do not become a loser, but we become we gain, unimaginably. And Krishna demonstrates this in his particular pastimes, just as Krishna, he appears and he has a mother Yashoda. Therefore, one of his names is Yashoda Nandana, one who gives pleasure to Mother Yashoda. Or Nanda Nandana, one who gives pleasure to Nanda Maharaj. So, Krishna, he agrees to be under the control of Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj. For example, Nanda Maharaj will say to Krishna, somehow or other it will happen that, "Please pick up my shoes and bring them to me." And there's cases where Krishna will put Nanda Maharaj's shoes on his head, and he'll walk over to his father and give him his shoes. Or coming up, we'll be celebrating the month of Kartik, which has many festivals in that particular month. But one of the things we're celebrating is when Krishna became bound by the ropes of love of Mother Yashoda, because he was being a naughty young boy. So Mother Yashoda, to control him, she first ran after him and caught him, and then she was trying to tie him up to the wooden grinding mortar, so he wouldn't engage in any more mischievous activities. Now, one particular point, throughout the whole thing, she was having a very difficult time doing that. And the Charya's teachers explained that the reason why she was having a hard time is because Krishna's inconceivable and he didn't want to be bound to that particular point. But she got all the rope from her house, from the neighbors' houses, and she was trying to tie him up, but it was just 2 inches too short. And the previous teachers explained that these 2 inches represent 2 things. One is the devotee's endeavor or hard work, and 2 is Krishna's mercy. So these are the 2 things it represents. And eventually Krishna allowed himself to be bound. But only after Mother Yashoda really exerted herself a lot. So it was a combination. So the combination was Mother Yashoda's endeavor and Krishna's mercy. So in the realm of those interested in God consciousness or Krishna consciousness or religion, the question comes up sometimes, how do we achieve God's mercy? How do we achieve Krishna's mercy? Is it just through our hard work alone? Or is it through God's mercy alone? Which one is it? Both. That's what this particular pastime is demonstrating. Both. So in other words, we have to exert energy in serving Krishna. Just like I suspect a number of you in this audience are also married. Or we'll put it this way. Who is not married? Please raise your hand. Okay. A majority of you are married. Or you just didn't raise your hand. Okay. So, now in a marriage, to have a successful marriage, and we're not going to get too much into this topic because I'm not married, but theoretically, from a logical point of view, a successful marriage means it's based on service. Means the husband has to demonstrate his affection in practical terms to his wife. In other words, he can't just be a lazy fellow and say, I love you, I love you, I love you, and then he's just sitting on the sofa all day, eating dried chickpeas. Oh, that's a strange thing. Anyways, potato chips, right? Can't just be eating, oh, I love you, not do anything. But there has to be a practical demonstration. Going to work, paying the bills, or helping pay the bill, whatever. There has to be some type of activity going on. And vice versa. Same with children. We have children, or some may have children also, and a number of you have children. So to be in a relationship means to serve, practically serve the children, right? So similarly, to be in a relationship with Krishna, we serve Krishna. And there's different ways to do that. Prahlāda Mahārāja in the Bhagavad Purana, he says there's 9 basic ways. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Sakyam, Atma, Nivedanam. So, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu. So, Shravanam means to hear, Shravanam, Kirtanam, to chant, and Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, to remember. So, to hear and chant about Krishna means there's the Bhagavad Gita. This is Krishna's words. We could hear, read, listen. The Bhagavad Purana, 18,000 verses coming after Bhagavad Gita. We could hear, listen. Nowadays, there's so many platforms we could hear from. We also have our ISKCON San Diego Live. It's actually live streaming this right now also. So there's plenty. We have classes every day. And there's classes being given all over the world. So to hear the message of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, to remember Krishna, Nama, Guna, Rupa, Lila, so Krishna's pastimes, his activities, his name, his form, his qualities, to remember all of this. This is service. And as our teacher, Srila Prabhupada would say, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu, not some politician. Means hear and chant about Krishna, not some politician. Now, I understand that it's very common in the world to follow the news, but we have to be careful because it could be a real rabbit hole. Meaning there's not just the American news, there's American news, China news, Indian news, Nepali news. It goes on and on and on and on. And you get all these ding, ding, ding notifications on your phone. So we just have to be careful, because hearing about that we don't reach the goal of life, but to hear and chant about Krishna, we reach the goal. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhya Kabanoy Shravanada Shuddha Chitte Koryadoy, that this eternal love for Krishna is established within the hearts of all living entities, and it is awakened by hearing and chanting about Krishna. And so the last thing we'll end with is that also Krishna comes in different forms, as we know. The latest form he came in is the form of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda. They're here on the altar, far left altar. Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda. And what they did is they spread the chanting of the holy names of Krishna throughout the subcontinent of India. And in modern times, Srila Prabhupada, also here, sitting here, he came to America over 50 years ago and established the Hare Krishna movement in America and then throughout the world. So the main gift of Srila Prabhupada and Lord Chaitanya, and the main emphasis of the Hare Krishna movement, is to chant Hare Krishna, therefore Hare Krishna movement. So we humbly encourage everyone to please chant Hare Krishna. I chant every day. I wasn't born in India, if you didn't notice. I grew up here in San Diego. I've been chanting Hare Krishna every day. I know people have been chanting for around 50 years, but I've been chanting Hare Krishna every day for the last 18 years of my life, number of hours every day. So if I could do it, definitely all of you in this room could do it. Most of you being born in the holy land of India. And read the Bhagavad Gita regularly and hear about Krishna. And this way we make progress, spiritual progress. Okay, so I'll stop there. Does anybody have a question or a comment that you'd like to ask before we... Okay, yes. What age did I started chanting Hare Krishna? Well, I will be 35 soon. My birthday is coming soon, September 16th. So I started chanting when I was 17. And I joined the Hare Krishna, this temple, when I was 18. And I've lived here since I was 18 years old in this temple. Of course, I'm not always here. I do travel, but I'm based here. And how long have you been chanting Hare Krishna? What was that? Almost the age of 18. Okay, good. All right, any other last question or comment? Yes. What's the best way to make prasadam in the home? Okay, that's a very good question. Thank you very much. Essential question. So briefly, I'll mention this. There's a verse that was Srila Prabhupada's guru's, one of his favorite verses. Atā Shri Krishna namadi nabhaved gramendriyai sevan mukhe hijivadau swameva spratida. So that means that the material blunt senses cannot perceive Krishna, cannot perceive God. They're contaminated, they can't perceive. So, but by engaging the senses in the service of Krishna, starting with the tongue, two things: tasting prasadam, food offered with love and devotion to Krishna, and chanting Hare Krishna. This verse says Krishna reveals himself. In other words, revelation. Krishna will appear to us. So therefore, having Krishna prasadam is important. And Krishna says this in the Bhagavad Gita. He says, Patram pushpam palam toyam yome bhakti priyachati. That if one offers to me with love and devotion a fruit, a flower, a leaf, some water, In other words, he's not leaving any excuses. Even a little water, a little leaf, who doesn't have those things? Srila Prabhupada makes a point in the purport that any poor person in the world could have these things. So, he says, if one offers with love and devotion these things, I will accept them, Krishna says. And then the food becomes, as our Srila Prabhupada, our teacher, would say, it becomes Krishnized. It becomes spiritualized. And then when we take it, it uplifts our consciousness into Krishna consciousness. So we could do that at our homes. We could have a picture of Krishna. We could have little plates that are just meant for Krishna. And then we cook sattvic foods, right? And we put them on the plates and we chant, Hare Krishna or different mantras to offer to Krishna. And then we take that prasadam. So that's an important part also. Thank you for mentioning that. All right, so now we hear some dancers, right? They're ready. So, all right, thank you very much. Hare Krishna.